I've just had a delivery, as you can see. Start the week. Now, this is quite an important delivery because what should be in here are our seats. Which we need to get into place in Purdey before she goes to the UK, because seat position is really crucial for the roll cage and where that goes. Not quite sure what this bit is. Big box of something. Now, these are the seats that we picked when we went to Demon Tweaks back in July. We sat in loads of seats. You have to find ones that fit your backside, don't you? Probably not going to take this out right now. They're OMP seats. It's quite exciting. They're not actually as big as I remember them being, which is quite good because that'll fit better into Purdey. Probably ought to sit in it and make sure that they still fit my bum.
The other thing, I want to sit a bit more upright, yeah. But I guess you can angle the seat when you mount it in the car.
Yeah, because I do feel like I'm going backwards. Yes. You know, compared to sitting in that one. Huh?
She wants you to pull me out of this seat.
Shall I stand on you again? 1, 2, 3.
That one was easier.
You.
Just stripping down these second-hand doors this morning to check them and get them ready for painting, because obviously we're focusing now on the body and getting Purdey complete body-wise. Also getting the primer coats onto the seat box that we prepared last week. Just thought we ought to check it still fit in. It's quite a snug fit actually, it's nice. It's at the right kind of angle. These holes, which are quite important for the where the harness comes over, are in the right place. Obviously it'd be easy to get out of when I'm not sitting on the floor. Just continuing to look at these second-hand doors. This is the driver's side door. Now, the handle that came off it is here, and it had no lock in it, but we've got nice new handle with an anti-burst lock, which came from our lovely partners at eurospare. So what Chris has had to do is make a new hole for where the lock barrel will come through. Other than that, the door's been rubbed down ready for priming and ultimately painting. Unfortunately, the top of this door wasn't salvageable, so we'll have to get a new door top. But apart from that, all good. In here, the seat box has now had 3 coats of actual paint. So that's nearly ready to go back in actually, and then we can look at putting a top on it and trying a seat in place, which will be quite exciting. And over here, this is the windscreen frame. I think that's ready to go on, so we're kind of making progress. The other door bottom's in really quite good condition actually. And this is the top for the passenger side door. Now these doors are series doors, and the reason that we've picked them, they have the sliding windows. Obviously this has all been taken to pieces, so I can't really show you that well, but they have sliding windows. We picked them because We can't have glass windows for decor, but we can get polycarb replacements for these glass panels. So that's great, because otherwise if we have a roll down window, we have to have window nets. This is the other door top, which you can see is quite badly damaged on the connections, but I can show you here the window arrangement. So this panel is fixed and then this one slides, so that works perfectly for us. Been having a bit of a mare with this door catch on the passenger side door, because the actual catch kept catching, haha, no pun intended. You can see the mark on here where it's just caught onto this metal, and we've had to space it out on this side to even get it to that stage. So now we've got to come up with some kind of ingenious solution for bridging this gap, because obviously that's not very good. We'll get sand and whatever through there. We've compared the two door handles, and it seems that the distance between the inner and outer handle on this one is different to the distance between the inner and outer handle on the other one. So what we're going to try and do is bend this handle in a bit so that the distance is the same, and then hopefully it'll all work. This is to mark where the lock barrel comes, so we can drill a hole. So that's now given us a circle to cut the hole from. So bending the handle has actually worked, because that now goes right up against where it's supposed to. I'll show you from that side. Let me come round. That sits up quite nicely, which is good. So yeah, just obviously a manufacturing tolerance that wasn't quite right there. Door's now getting a bit of a rub down with 400 wet and dry sandpaper, ready to go to the paint shop. So with the front doors ready to go for paint, we're now looking at this rear door. Now I bought this at the Land Rover show back in September. What do we think of it, Chris?
No, it's not bad at all. A bit scabby in places. But...
yeah, it needs a little bit of remedial work. It's got some holes down here where it's had a spare wheel carrier on, which obviously we don't need, so we're probably going to put a plate behind that and fill them.
yeah, I suppose so.
But no, it's not that bad actually, is it? By the way, didn't pay 60 quid for it, did a bit of a deal on that. The rear glass has come out. We're just trying to get the seal and all the gunk out that was holding it in. I originally thought that maybe we wouldn't have glass in the rear. Well, we weren't going to have glass, but we wouldn't have any vision from the rear. But on reflection, I think that we're probably going to put polycarb into that and incorporate a viewing section within the wrap. That's to be revealed later, how that's going to work. So the rear door frame is getting there to being cleaned up, ready for some primer and paint. So are we saying this door's ready for painting now?
It's not far off it.
Bit of undercoat first. Taken quite a long time though, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So this door so far, stripping off the rubbish and taking the glass out and what have you, has already taken half a day. That seems like a long time, but this is a second-hand part. We wanted to use as many second-hand parts as possible because this is a classic rally that we're building Purdey for. We want to keep her as original as possible, using as many original parts rather than brand new parts. So it's 100% worth doing this. Not sure Chris would agree, but it is. Moving on to the bonnet now. This is Purdey's original bonnet. The inside is a little bit scabby and it has got quite a few dents in it, hasn't it?
Yeah, we'll sort it out.
These, because she's an older car, she had a spare wheel mounted on the bonnet originally. So these are the spare wheel mounts. They're kind of rubbery, well, sort of. Obviously taking them out at the moment, it would sort of be quite nice to put them back on again, and we'll see about that later, just for a touch of authenticity. And the rear doors had a coat of rust killing primer on the inside. Just been to Action to get sanding discs because we're going through quite a lot of them at the moment. Now the seat box has been painted, we're gonna refit it. Okay. On something, anyway.
Would you like to sit fairly well upright, don't you?
Yeah. very high at the minute, doesn't it? Just trying, this is the first try of the seat in the car, which is quite exciting, apart from I don't drive like this. I drive like this. I like to see where I'm going, so we've got to adjust all of this. Pedals aren't too bad. Steering wheel feels nice, feels like I'm going to be able to see, but yeah, the angle here is not right at all. Still working on bodywork. There was quite a lot of work to do on this bonnet. Very dusty, as you can see. Chris has turned a little bit grey. And now just rubbing it down. We're putting a prime coat on it before it goes to Chris. Yeah. Good old rust killer and primer stuff, so useful. This little box of bits is bits that have come off the bonnet, that have been refurbished, I think we'll say, ready to go back on, or original parts. Wow. This has come up really well. This is Purdey's original bonnet, and you saw, what, a day and a half ago, it was all rusty and horrible, and look at it now. It's magic. And in the rear door, where the holes were from the old spare wheel carrier, Chris has put a load of fiberglass to actually just sort of strengthen that, and also give something to fill against from the other side, because we don't need a spare wheel carrier. Our work time is going to be cut a little bit short this week because we have to make a trip to the UK. There's several reasons for that, personal reasons, but while we're there, we're also going to collect some parts. We're still missing Purdey's front wings, inner wings, various other bits and pieces. And we are also going to have a visit at Safety Devices, so that's something that we'll bring you in next week's episode. We're taking Lulu with us, so Chris has just given her a wash, ready for her journey. And meanwhile, the outer surface of the rear door has now been filled. There was a bit of an indentation there where that spare wheel carrier was on, and of course the holes. So that's been filled, it will be rubbed down, primed, and we'll be ready for paint. So we're at the port in Dieppe, waiting to board. There's a few Land Rovers, Freelander 2 there. Rangy here on the boat tonight. There's probably some more at the back of the queue. Over here we've got a 110. Actually I met them in March when I was coming back on the ferry with Delilah. And so it's nice to see them again. That's the one we saw on the road. And Lulu's here, second in the queue, waiting to board, which hopefully will be soon. Maybe. Okay. Onto the boaty thing. Being followed by the Defender. So here we are, end of build week 8. There's not been a lot of footage this week because it just takes so much time to do the bodywork, but it's really important stuff. So here we are on the ferry. I don't know what this ferry's called. It's DFDS ferry. We're in Dieppe. We're about to sail to New Haven. The sun's setting behind us on the end of week 8, and we'll see you on the next episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Really appreciate you doing that. Hope you've enjoyed it. See you soon.